Hello everybody! Welcome to a video about simplifying square roots. Let's take a look at an example here. Let's say that I gave you the square root of 32. Now you would say to me that you know that that answer is not an integer. The square root of 32 is not a whole number. However, you can tell me around where you think this answer might be. Because what you've learned is that the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 36 is 6. So the square root of 32 kind of falls in between there. Right? It looks to me like 32 is a little bit closer to 36. So I bet your answer is probably going to be between 5 and 6, but a little bit closer to 6. So if you look to the column that we have here, here are a list of all of the perfect squares. We're going to use the perfect squares to help us simplify this root 32. I'm going to look for a perfect square that is a factor of 32. Even better than that, I want this perfect square to be the largest factor of 32 that's in this list of perfect squares. So if I take a look at 4, now 4 goes into 32 8 times, so 4 is definitely a factor of 32. I'm not sure yet if it's the biggest one, so I'm just going to keep going down the list. 9 does not go into 32. 16 does. 16 goes into 32 twice. So already now, 16 is a bigger factor than 4, so I'm not going to use 4. 25 doesn't go into 32, and 36 is too big. So my option here is going to be 16, so we're going to rewrite this here. We're going to say that the root of 32 is the same as the square root of 16 times 2. 16 is a factor of 32 because 16 times 2 is 32. Now what you can do is you can break up this radical and you can say that that's the square root of 16 times the square root of 2. Now you know the square root of 16. The square root of 16 is 4. So your simplification here is 4 square root 2. Now if you pick up your calculator, which I'm going to do over here, and I type in the square root of 32 into my calculator, it gives me 5.657 about. So that means that we were right over here when we thought that it was going to be between 5 and 6. And then if I type in 4 times the square root of 2 into my calculator, I get the same exact thing. I get 5.657. Okay, everybody, let's just take a look at one more example. What if I asked you about 7 root 147? How about 7 times the square root of 108? So let's go through the list of perfect squares. And let's try to figure out which of these perfect squares is a factor of 108. 4 is one of them. Let's see if we can find a bigger one. 9 goes in, so now we're not going to use 4. 16 is not one. I can tell you that 25 isn't one either. 36 36 goes in, so that means we're not going to use 9 anymore. I don't think 49 goes in. Nope, it doesn't. I know 64 doesn't either, or 81 or 100. Okay, great. So now let's see. 36 is going to be the perfect square that we're going to use. This becomes 7 times the square root of 36 times 3. Okay, because 36 times 3 is 108. So now we're going to split up the radical. And what's the square root of 36? The square root of 36 is 6. Okay, and we've got to multiply by that 7 in front, so our final answer is going to be 42 root 3. Great job, everybody. Why don't you try this practice problem? Pause the video and then wait to see the answer. Pause the video to try on your own, then press play to see the answer.